So in this video, we're going to find the inverse when we are given the number e or a natural log. And just a reminder that e and natural log are inverses of each other, just like addition and subtraction or multiplication and division. So here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch x and y. So first, I'm just going to note that this is a y equals e to the x plus 2, which is the same thing as the function of x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch where the x is and the y is. So this is going to be x equals e to the y plus 2. Now the goal now is to solve for y. So the goal is to get the letter y by itself, and a great reminder is that e to the y is actually all attached to each other. So I can't get that y alone just yet. I need to move that positive 2 to the other side. This gives me x minus 2 is equal to e to the y. Now just a reminder, the opposite of e is the natural log. So if I have an e, I want to do a natural log to both sides. So I'm going to put natural log in the front and put all of this in parentheses. And again, natural log of everything in parentheses. When I simplify that, I'm going to end up with a natural log of x minus 2 is equal to. And the really nice thing about e and ln is that because they are inverses of each other, they will simplify out. And the only thing left over will be that letter y. So my inverse, if I'm going to use inverse notation, is the ln of x minus 2 is the inverse. And this would be my answer. So in number 1, I started with the number e, and my inverse has a natural log. Now I'm going to do the opposite, where my function has a natural log, and the inverse will end up having the number e in it. So when I find the inverse, the first thing I want to do is switch out the x and the y. So again, remember, f of x can also be written as a y equals. Now that I have an x and a y, I'm going to switch their locations. X equals 3 ln of y plus 10. Now the goal is to solve for y. I want that letter y by itself. Now some things to note, this y plus 10 is in parentheses, which means that this is going to be that last thing that I deal with. All right, so the first thing I want to get rid of is this 3 times. And the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. 3 will simplify out. That gives me x over 3 is equal to the natural log of y plus 10. Now again, noting that that plus 10 is inside the parentheses, which means the next thing I need to get rid of now is the ln, which is my natural log. So the goal here is to do the number e on both sides. Now something to pay attention to is when I e both sides, whatever is there is going to end up being the exponent. So I'm going to make that letter e really large to kind of make sure everyone knows it's the base. So if I put an e on this side, it becomes e to the x over 3. And again, e to the ln y plus 10, e being that base number. When I simplify that, e and natural log will simplify out. This ends up giving me e to the x over 3 is equal to y plus 10. Now it's a lot easier for me to get that y by itself. I'm going to be subtracting 10 from both sides. And that's going to give me e to the x over 3 minus 10 on that outside part. A positive 10 and a negative 10 simplify to 0, and this gives me a y. Again, because I am finding the inverse, I want to use my inverse notation. This gives me e to the x over 3.
It's that beautiful Thursday.